Hi everyone, so today I'm going to teach you how to sew on a button, and what you're going to need is whatever you are sewing your button onto. You're going to need your button, and then you're going to need some thread and a needle. Any hand needle will work for this.
So I'm going to take my needle and push it down through the fabric and then back up through the fabric, and then I'm going to pull it. You just want to make sure when you're pulling it that you're not going to pull it all the way out. You want to leave a little tail at the end. And then we're going to do the same thing. We're going to push down and then up through the fabric and pull it tight. Make sure your tail doesn't come through. You want it to stay there. And then we're going to do it one more time. We're going to push down and then come back up through the fabric and then pull it through. Make sure you're pulling it tight so it's nice and secure. And this is how we secure our thread. I'm just gonna cut off that tiny little tail. Make sure you're not cutting off the tail which is attached to your needle. And then we are going to thread our button through the first hole. Now your button might have 2 holes or it might have 4 holes. This one has 4, so I'm going to be demonstrating this one with a crisscross. So as you can see, I'm now going through the opposite diagonal hole and I'm going to push that through the fabric and then pull my needle out the other side. And then I'm just going to pull this nice and tight. And then I'm going to thread up the other side and back down the one we just came up. And this is just going to make sure it's really secured in place. Pull it nice and tight, and then we're going to go up the other holes. So we're just going to push our needle through, and then we're going to push down on the diagonal. And again, pull it nice and tight. Then we're going to go back up that first hole and then push it down the diagonal. And this means that both have been secured twice. Now on this last one, we want to make sure that we're not pushing the needle through the fabric and we're actually just pulling it under the button, because now what we're going to do is wrap the thread around the fabric 5 times. And this is just going to make sure it's really secure. And now you're going to push your needle through in between the button and the fabric and pull it down through the bottom of the fabric. And again, we're going to pull this nice and tight. So now we just want to secure the button in place. So we're going to push down and up through the fabric and we're going to pull it, but this time we loop it through that hole and then pull it tight. So instead of pulling it just straight through, you make a little loop and you push it through that loop. Again, we're leaving a loop and you thread the needle through that loop and then pull. We're just going to do it one more time. And then we're going to trim off the end. And there we go. You've now sewn on a button.